Hello everybody and welcome back for some more Driversroom Festival of Speed. We are here at Autopolis International Racing Course in Japan. We are staying in Japan for another week, and after that we will be going through to Europe, to Italy, to the Autodrome Laggio Maggiore. Anyway, for this week we are here at Autopolis, which is a circuit with a total length of 4.674 kilometers or 2.904 miles. Got 19 circuits, 19 turns, and it's a fairly technical circuit, it has to be said. With a lot of awkward corners, sharp corners, corners with camber, so you got a whole lot of it. That is it for the introduction to this circuit. Let's head to track for the grid walk for today's race. In first, on pole position, we have F1 again, and alongside him we have RJ Cool. Then we have MS Too Fast in third, with the Roberts Dog in fourth place. Then in fifth is for MJ Mercer with sixth for Bullet. Seventh is occupied by Mr. Sean, and eighth is for Rocker. Sorry. Ninth, as a final one, is for Gary. And that is the grid for today's exciting race. Now that's done, let's head to track and see what this race will bring us. 4 lights, 5 lights, and they're out, and there is a jump start in the back. I'm not sure who that is, but F1 Holster is now dropping down to second, is back into first as he gets a little bit of a push from behind. And in the background there's even more contact as they head through turn number 2 and into the braking zone from turn number 3. RJ Cool giving his teammate the Rob's Dog a bit of a nudge. Mercer now in fourth with Bullet in fifth. Then behind Too Fast losing out to a couple of places down in sixth. Then we have Mr. Sean in seventh. Now with Rocker squeezing Rocker to the outside, and Rocker loses a place to Gary as well. Gary, the one who made the jump start, is now in 8th place. Into the hairpin they go for the first time of many. And it was a bit of a messy start of the lap as Mr. Sean is wide and Gary is into the wall, and he has retired from this race. So not a great start for Gary, not so great start for Mr. Sean as well. I think Rocker and MS Too Fast here also not getting away as well as they would have liked. F1 coming up to the main straight now, completing lap number 1, and he has already made a sizable gap to the Roberts Dog and RJ Cool behind him. Then we have MJ Mercer, and Bullet is now under threat of Too Fast. Too Fast pulling out, but deciding not to go for the move. Bullet's teammate Rocker in 7th. Doesn't have anyone close around him. Of course, Mr. Sean is behind him and Too Fast is in front of him. But no real threats as of yet for Rocker. Same for Mercer. Big gap in front of him. A little less big behind him, but still big enough for no threats. RJ Cool going a bit deep into the hairpin, manages to stop it in time before going off the track. as there is a yellow flag behind. Did I see that correctly? I might have seen something that wasn't there. Oh, too fast with a big snap of oversteer coming off that curb on the inside. He managed it, but that was surely a scary moment for him. F1 now with the first lap complete, first full running lap completed, is then a 1:38.341. As Too Fast now side by side with Bullet, and Mercer is into the gravel. He has overshot turn 1 and oh, he collects Rocker. Try to get out of the way. Rocker anticipated differently, and Mercer is now all the way down in 7th place, behind Mr. Sean and in front of Rocker. Too Fast and Bullet are going side by side through the second sector, and Too Fast is the one who is winning out, at least for now. The first turn here at Autopolis is indeed very difficult, as you could see that the sector split 8 seconds down for Mercer, so it cost him a lot of time. This flag that is shown here is always green, it seems, so that was my confusion with the potential yellow flag. F1 keeps the power down, and there is no competitors inside. He did make a little mistake on the last lap, but that doesn't hold away from his lead. Too Fast now ahead of Bullet. And also with a sizable gap, as Rocker goes in a bit deep and all the way over the curb in turn 1. Robosdog and RJ Cool are very close to each other, but I think because they are teammates they haven't collided yet, or haven't battled as well. But the Robosdog goes deep into the hairpin. Will he give the place to RJ Cool? No, he will not. Robosdog slots in front of RJ Cool again. Then Too Fast and Bullet. Bullet also going a bit wide. The tire wear starts to kick in now. Those soft tires are good for about 3 laps, and then they die off very, very quickly. Four seconds lost by RJ Cool in the last lap. 2 seconds for Bullet. Mercer about a second, bit more. So Mercer is still on pace, and Rocker 6 seconds down, so he has made a mistake. Bullet now falling in the clutches of Mr. Sean, and after Mr. Sean we have M. John Mercer. So Bullet need to drive a bit defensive. But he goes in a bit deep into the hairpin. He keeps the place, but it will cost him some time to Mr. Sean behind, and behind him we have Mercer, like I said. So as of now, this is the most intense battle we have currently on track. And I think that well, F1 is staying out for another lap, so I think it will be a two-stop race. As the Robbers dog is in, there was a yellow flag, but I'm not sure for who that was. Maybe for the Robbers dog. I think the Robbers dog came in too hot into the pit lane and collided with the barrier. That's why he got a 1.5 second penalty. He emerges out in 7th place, but can he make the undercut work? The best example will be with his teammates, as Rock is also into the pits now. Two fast tires are absolutely shot, especially that front left. Oh, as he spins, it's a bit of a commentator's curse here. Too fast spins out on the exit curb. Gets himself a 3-second penalty for good measure as well. He waits safely to rejoin the track, as F1 is now into the pits. And I think RJ Cool will follow him as well. Yes, he is. Need to brake a lot into the pit entry, and I don't think the Robbers dog really did a good job at that. Oh, as there's a bit of a mistake into the pits. Mercer colliding with Bullet. Bullet slowing down a bit too much. And there we see the gap between the two teammates, as the Robbers dog goes in a bit deep. But RJ Cool is now a bit further away than he was before they went into the pits. So not too much gained by the Robbers dog. As Too Fast has a 3-second penalty, probably for cutting the pit line. The entry or the exit, I think it is the entry line he has cut. Oh no, it's the 3 seconds for the barrier collision. Sorry, got confused for a moment. So now Mr. Sean is in 4th place with Bullet in 5th. Then Mercer is in 6th and Too Fast is in 7th, and Rocker is now in 8th place. As Mercer goes in a bit too deep, will concede the place to Too Fast, but Too Fast needing to serve that penalty will give the place right back to Mercer. Now the two teammates are a bit closer, the Retro Racing teammates. As they begin lap number 8. F1 a couple of corners clear of the nearest cars around him. Then there's a big gap between Mr. Sean and RJ Cool. Then we have Bullet and Mercer. Mercer, who is still ahead of Too Fast serving that penalty and dropping back down to 7th place. How much longer will he be in 7th place? That is the question. Is now on board with Too Fast. Too Fast having a little look, not going for it. Mercer goes in a bit deep, and Too Fast is past Mercer. So there's your answer. It didn't take that long for Too Fast to get past Mercer, albeit with a bit of help from Mercer himself, going deep into the hairpin. Rocker is actually still very or keeping up with the pack ahead, so he's not dropping away completely. That's good to see. RJ Cool, meanwhile, has overtaken the Robbers Dog. So a swap around on the main straight. But can can RJ Cool grow a gap to the Robbers Dog behind? That is the big question. Autopolis is a really technical circuit. Personally, I don't really like it. Got too many twists and turns and awkward corners, and yeah, I don't like it. So I'm happy that I'm here in the commentator's box, commentating on the drivers, what they have to endure. As we are now past the halfway point of this race, so I think it will be 20 laps, maybe 19. I am not sure. Too Fast going quicker than his personal best, so he set a new personal best on lap number 10, and Bullet going a bit deep into turn number 1, as he doesn't defend for turn number 3. Oh, and there's a bit of contact between the two of them, but no real harm done there. As Bullet cuts back across in front of Too Fast. Almost 2 seconds lost in the first 2 sectors. That shows how much time or how much he's holding back behind Bullet, or so close behind Bullet. Bullet drifting a bit wide, and Bullet concedes the place. Then RJ Cool is in early. That is very early. Now going for a real undercut, but at the end of the race he will be struggling massively. Robbers Dog is in as well. as Mr. Sean is the only car to have over pits. But now is the question: what will the response be from F1? You can see on the right rear there's a lot of paint being brushed off quite brutally by some barrier collisions, I think. Not sure when that happened, but it sure happened, as you can see there. F1 continues on for another lap. 4.5 seconds slower than his personal best, which is the fastest lap of the race, has to be said. So it's not that he is going really slow, but he is pushing it for another lap, and after that he will come in. And I think Mr. Sean is going in. But did he cross the pit entry? I think he did, but I don't think he got I think he got away with it, so that's nice for him. Getting away with a penalty like that. There's Too Fast is now in as well for his second pit stop. Does stay ahead of Rocker. So this is probably the in lap for F1. And Mr. Sean now on his out lap, dropping behind Bullet and Mercer, I was gonna say, but Mercer has now been displaced as F1 is into the pits for his final pit stop. The left front is really getting pushed to its limits. RJ Cool sets a personal best lap time, whilst the Roberts dog doesn't do that. Roberts dog more like half a second above his personal best. But maybe their personal best vary. I am not sure. Mercer into the pits as well as Bullet. Bullet being the first one. Will that still be the case as they come out of the pits? Yes, it will. It might even have become bigger of all things, as now the sun is setting with only 8 minutes left on the clock. And with everyone except for Rocker making their final pit stop, it's now all about on-track overtaking. So if Too Fast wants to get back up into 4th place, he needs to reel in Mr. Sean, but he is quite far behind or in front, however you want to see it. And Mr. Sean is not a slow driver. Too Fast comes up onto the main straight and Mr. Sean's already passed turn number 1. Bullet is in 6th place at the moment. Mercer, to be honest, not really that far behind from Bullet. And Rocker is behind him. Arjaku still very much ahead of his teammate. The gap has been smaller, but in the last couple of laps it only has grown bigger and bigger. So that does show that Arjaku, at least around this track, has got a bit more pace. Arjaku is in again. That's true. Although I say it's true, but that is a very late pit stop, and he will lose track position to Mr. Sean. Was this the right call? Like the Roberts dog, who came in at the same lap, his tires are decent for the amount of time driven on it. Mr. Sean's tires are really fresh, so yeah, it's a strange strategy call. We'll have to see how it plays out, and if it doesn't play out right, I think we can call it a Ferrari strategy call. A bit of a blunder there, as now it's completely dark outside, with no floodlights on the circuit. It's only the big massive headlights these cars have gotten to guide them. But I'm not sure how much time Arjaku is gaining on Mr. Sean. Will the Roberts dog also come into the pits? Yes, he will. So they are going for a 3-stop race, and Mr. Sean is last past. I am really surprised. Then it's gonna be close with the Roberts dog and Too Fast. Roberts dog able to brake later. Ooh, there's a bit of contact, another bit of contact, as the Roberts dog hangs it around the outside. But he stays ahead of Too Fast. Mus now also very much on the tail of Bullet. And Bullet goes in a bit deep. That will give Mercer maybe the opportunity in a bit into the hairpin. Look how close Mercer is at the moment. Is he going for it here? Hangs it on the apex. Oh, but he goes wide. Try to apply the throttle a bit too hastily, and that has cost him big time, and probably the chance for 6th place as well. Arjaku has displaced Mr. Sean. I don't know when, I don't know where. Jumping over the curb. It is gonna be just about his personal best lap time, whilst Mr. Sean is 9 seconds slower than his personal best lap time. Of course, there's a bit of tire wear as a factor here, but that can't be all lap time. He must have made a mistake and had a off-track excursion somewhere. Mercer has gained some time on Bullet in the last sector as Bullet is off. Bullet is off into turn 1. So both making a mistake and they trade places as a result. First Mercer making a mistake and then it was Bullet who made a bigger mistake, which eventually cost him 6th place. F1 will be going on for another lap and it will probably be a bit of a parade lap. Seeing that nobody inside is really close to him to cause any harm. Roberstock not yet past Mr. Sean. He will have another lap to do so. RJ Cool with 15 seconds to spare goes on for another lap. Then Mr. Sean and the Roberstock also head on for another lap. And Too Fast is slowing down. He got enough time behind him. Clock is now at 30 minutes and Too Fast finishes in 5th place. And the Roberstock into turn 1 made a move on Mr. Sean. Mercer has finished 6th and Bullet has finished 7th. Sorry, I cannot catch them now. It's a bit too intense between these two. Although I think that the Roberstock has got this one in the bag with fresh tires, and look at that left front from Mr. Sean, really messed up. There you can see the 3 guys who have finished currently. Rocker rounds the final corner, he will finish in 8th place. And here comes F1, he has sailed away. And he will take victory in round number 2 of the RFS. RJ Cool holds on to his starting position as well as F1. RJ Cool also rounding the final corner, actually this penultimate corner. RJ Cool will take 2nd place, followed by his teammate in 3rd. Then we have Mr. Sean in 4th, and that was it for tonight. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave a like and subscribe if you want to see plenty more racing content just like this. And yeah, I did enjoy that race. It was a bit messy at the start, but along the way there were some interesting battles. Anyway, do you guys think that F1 will be keeping this sizable lead for in the upcoming races, or do you think that maybe someone else will be able to challenge him? We'll have to wait and see. Until then, I will see you guys with some for some more Driversroom Festival of Speed. Until then, have a good one. Goodbye.